Hello, Titanan. Welcome to the stream. Got here very quickly. On my Lasius Niger first, you might notice the setup has changed a bit. We've added this medium nest, which seems to be the expansion they needed because they are occupying it already quite well. There are a bunch of workers clustered around this bit here, so when they're not stressed out like they are when I'm filming them like this, they usually are occupying the entire thing. I'm gonna start feeding them. So if I go over to the outworld, then I'll show you guys a nice feeding. Just gonna set my tripod up properly for this. There we go. I'm gonna give them a mealworm. I'm making sure all my colonies right now are quite well fed because I'm not going to be here for a while. I'm also going to make sure they all have plenty of water because ant colonies don't do too well when they're dehydrated. Ooh. There aren't many active workers in the outworld right now, so I'm gonna place it nearer to the nests. There we go. Cut it into decent pieces for them. It's also a good time to restock their liquid feeder with water. Hi, Rory Lob. I'm gonna fill that up real quick. Alright, I'm back. Let's give them some of this. It's a bit precarious placement there. Put it there. There we go. Alright. It's a bit loose. There we go. Okay. They don't seem to have the fastest reactions out of lots of my colonies because they have quite a few workers, especially here. Yeah, I think they're just stressed because the vibrations from that. But once they get moving, they should start liking that. I'm also going to give them some of my sugar water. Oh, they love this stuff. It's just a mix of brown sugar, honey, water, and a bit of salt. So that should have all ants really need. not too much salt because it's not too good for them to have too much salt. It can actually dehydrate them a bit, but just enough that they get some minerals. They get most of their minerals from the water they drink, though. So, and in the honey, there's fructose, which is a type of sugar, and in the brown sugar, it's mostly sucrose. Let's see how they react to that. I think there's already a few more workers in the outworld. Once they get going, they'll start having a good reaction. So I might leave them for a minute and bring over another colony. Okay, I'm gonna put these guys in the back. Okay, I'm gonna bring over my... What do you want me to bring over? Should I bring over my Fidoli? Actually, I'm gonna bring over my harps. Here we have the Harpingnathus venator. Oh, sorry. Okay. Harps, how are they doing? Have they got any larvae yet? Oh, trying to have a look in there. It looks like they still are on eggs. I'm gonna give them a mealworm. What species do you currently keep? Right now, I'm keeping quite a few different species. I keep around 10 species. I'm gonna show them all, but I have Lasius Niger, Harpingnathus venator, Phytolinoda, Mesobarbarus, Camponotus nicobarensis, Camponotus fetchinkoi, Formica fusca. There might be a couple more, but I'm bad at naming them right off the top of my head. Welcome to the stream anyway. I'm not going to put in a live mealworm because it'll dig into the soil, and I would usually give them a live... If I'm giving them live food, I'd give them a red runner, but I'm trying to grow the red runners' numbers right now. Oh. Okay. I just gotta place it here, and they'll find it. Because they actually are quite active in the outworld if I'm not watching them. As soon as they notice me, walk past, then they see me straight away with their eyes, and they'll run straight back into the nest. I've seen them run back in a few times, so yeah. Since I'm going away for 5 days, something like that, I'm just gonna make sure all the colonies have everything they need. And these guys, I don't really give them a supply of water in like a test tube because there's always a bit of condensation on their glass and they just drink that. I've seen them do it before. So it should be fine. I might make sure their nest is watered actually. I'm gonna do that. You have Lasius Niger, Lasius flavus, Myrmica rubra, Camponotus nicobarensis, Tetramorian bicarinatum, Mesobarbarus, Mesobouveri. Yeah, same. I'm going away for a week and prepared mine. That's cool. Yeah, that's a nice collection you got there. I like those Myrmica rubra. I'm gonna try and catch some this summer. In fact, I might even try in this week which I'm going away because I'm going to a nature reserve and there should be a lot of nature there. I heard there's lots of Formica rufa, which are these red wood ants. They're very cool. I've been there before. I think I've seen them before, but that was before I ever started ant keeping and everyone's really interested in insects. Hopefully there's some sort of nuptial flights then. I haven't had any success with Lasius flavus. I have one colony of one worker, but they can't seem to. I think the queen just forgot how to open cocoons, so that's sort of a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I need to make sure not to overwater this nest because I seem to be very good at overwatering nests recently. I'd love to keep Roofer, but I've always heard that they need a natural setup, so I haven't tried them yet. Yeah, they might need a natural setup. I think I might try keeping them in like a gypsum nest with like some sort of substrate, like maybe pine needles, because I know that they use those. And I also need to make sure I give them pine resin because they need like resin to. I'm not really sure why they need it. They use it for several purposes, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make it as close to the wild as possible while still technically being an artificial setup. I'll probably use like a Gen 4 setup like this, or like my Lasius Niger in the background there. Speaking of the Nigers, should we quickly have a look at if they've started reacting to the food yet? Sorry. A bit messy. They sent out a few workers, but it'll be a while before they actually do their little swarms, which they seem to do. Well, these guys are pretty much done. They definitely won't do anything for me while I'm watching them, so I'm going to put them back. Longest setup right here. Let's bring him in. Oh, what is it? You can just see the outworld there. Hold on, let me free up a bit of space. It's a bit cramped. It is okay. If you don't really know here they have a Venus nest connected to a medium outworld. They're doing really well right now. You can see the queen down there actually. I'm stressing out all my ants today. They're doing incredibly well right now. They have a lot of brood. They have a lot of mages as well. They are very much trapped over here. They don't really leave there. They like being very close together. But yeah. They use it as an antibacterial thing to walk over as they enter their nest or something, I read. Oh, that's cool. A few ants on the sugar water back there in the Niger setup. I'm gonna feed the Fidoli. I think my Fidoli have the coolest reactions to food, so you might get a little swarm. You can already see there. There's lots of activity in their outworld, so let's see. I'm gonna cut up a quick mealworm for them. Okay, let's feed them this mealworm here. Let's feed it right at the back so we can see a little, maybe even like a little trail. Oh, that's so cool. I'm gonna feed them some sugar water as well. They have plenty of water in one of their test tubes, so they should be alright. Let's put that in there. They don't need too much. They don't go too crazy for sugar. Their mages store a lot of food, so they actually do quite well, even if I leave them alone for a while. So that's pretty handy. It's a few workers already on that. It does not take long for the message to spread with these guys. They'll just once one ant comes back to the colony with the news, they all go crazy. There's actually quite a few on the sugar. That's nice. Yeah. I'm gonna give them a bit more protein than usual because they need a lot of protein, and the fact that I'm not gonna be here for a while means that I should probably make sure they have some of that now. What's the quality of the stream looking like right now? What species would you want to keep? I'd love some Formica sanguinea, but my old colony failed because the queen killed all her donor workers after they hatched out of their cocoons. Jeez, that's unlucky. I would love to keep Carabera diversa. I'm quite a fan of small ants, but I'm also a massive fan of polymorphic ants, and they can have majors that go to like 2 centimeters, even though their smallest minus can be like 2 millimeters. I love Fidoli, and Carabera can be quite similar to Fidoli, but the polymorphism is just ramped up even more. Because Fidoli are typically only dimorphic, and they have super majors and all that. And their queens are like monsters as well. They are so cool. Maybe I think the only thing that's a bit off-putting about Carabao Diverse to me is that their queens don't live that long, and you might actually have to you might have to replace a queen to give them a new queen, which feels a bit risky to me sometimes. I don't know. If you're not subbed to my channel, that would be amazing if you could sub. I'm trying to get to 500 subs. I recently hit my goal of 200 subscribers. So, yeah. Oh, they're liking that. They're probably going to bring out some majors if they're struggling with it. So, that'd be cool. And have another look at inside the nest, actually. You can see there are lots of ants in there. Wow. You did earlier. That's great. Thanks. Well, I think they're good for now. I'm going to bring these guys back, I think. It might be getting a bit laggy. Hold on. I'm going to try and fix that. Oh. Okay. Next colony is DIY ant farm. Sorry, I'm going to try and get this into a better position because I need my phone to be near a fan because otherwise it will overheat and it will get laggy. Oh, these guys are so cool. They could do with a lot more water, so I might give them a bit of that. New test tube, mate. Actually, I mean, they have lots of water. It's a bit dirty, but... Oh, it's also flooding. That's not good. I'll sort that out now. After I feed them. Oh, sneezing. They shouldn't need too much. I fed them sugar water earlier this week, so I really should not feed them more. Their queen is a replete at the moment, so, well, kind of a replete, so I'm just going to be careful not to let her get too big, because she might stop egg laying if that happens. Hello, Techno Frogs. Okay, I'm going to sort out a test tube for them. These are my honey pots. They're my Myrmecocystus placodops. Alright, I have a new test tube for them. I'll show you guys the inside of the nest in a second. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm just trying to get this test tube on. Yeah, these are cool. They're quite. I got them quite recently, so if you want to see how I got them, I made a video. Maybe might have been a month ago. I'm not sure. There we go. If you didn't see that, it's a massive test tube I just gave them, full of some water. There you go. I should last them. Hopefully they don't make it all moldy. I'm gonna take out the trash. I need a box. I really hope these guys grow quite a lot. They have quite a few cocoons, and they have what looks to be a replete larva. So maybe they'll get a replete. They had a replete cocoon a while ago, but I forgot to give them protein for like a week, which was pretty stupid of me. And I'm pretty sure they ate it. Well, I saw them eating it actually. But yeah, hopefully this one does better. Because I think the best thing about them is their repletes. So yeah. What's your biggest colony? At the moment, I think it's my Lasius Niger. I'll show you. They're actually just around in the background of the stream right now. How do these guys make such a mess? Is this just all poop or something? Bloody hell. Okay. At least they don't poop on the glass like my messel. Okay, should we have a look inside the nest? I'm gonna try and get a decent view of that. Hold on a second. I have to get some good lighting for that. So I'm gonna put this down here. And I'm gonna put that down there. Oh god, this is actually it's really difficult to film inside this nest, or at least live stream inside this nest. How should I do this? Oh, I haven't had it. Okay. The nest is good, it's just not good for filming. It's good for seeing inside, just filming. Okay. You can see the queen in there. Just about. If it's not too laggy. She does not like the light. They have a few cocoons out in that corner, that's where the heat cable is. And they have some larvae in the back, which you can't really see. But yeah. Quite a few workers now. I estimate maybe 17, 18. They've been getting a few more recently because they've been growing quite a bit. They came with lots of larvae, which is quite good. Your biggest colony are your Tetramorium bicarinatum. I don't know how, but I got them to over 40,000 workers and hundreds of queens. They're almost 4 years old now. Wow, that's an old colony. 40,000. What kind of setup are they in? It's got to be some big setup. I'm going to go over to my Lasius Niger quite quickly because they seem to be quite active now. Just be careful. I feel like I'm about to knock over something. Eventually I'm going to get a bigger desk, so this should be a bit easier. Okay. So we get the lighting. Yeah, here the Lasius Niger. They don't look that big when they're foraging. That's just because they're not that active foragers. But inside their nest, they have quite a lot of workers. So they have this small Gen 4 nest and this medium nest, which I gave them like quite recently. It's only a year old actually, so they're growing very well for their age. I'm going to bring my honey pots back while you watch these. I'll bring over my Nikos in a minute. They are quite a small colony, but they're very active. Like, you know, Kushi? Yeah. I have them in a bunch of connected Gen 2 nests. 3 S6s, 4 S3s, and 1 S5, and a huge outworld. Also, fun fact, I've only ever been stung once by them. Oh, I didn't even know Tetramorium bicarinatum could sting. I've never used Gen 2 stuff. I've only used Gen 4, because apparently that's his best stuff, and I think it works quite well. I have seen Gen 2 stuff, and I do like the way it looks. But I think it's easier to expand these. That's just my opinion, though. You could try putting them in a wakushi nest because they have big XL nests which are about the same size as 4 of these medium nests. Oh. Sorry, it's not focusing. Why are you not focusing, Mr. Camera? Oh. There you go. There you go. So they have quite a lot of cocoons in here. I saw the queen in here earlier, but she's not in here now. In the small, which was their original nest, they have lots of small larvae down here, lots of mature larvae in there, and I think the queen is in this chamber here. What do Tetramorium bicarinatum stings feel like, by the way? Do they hurt much? Yeah, it is his better stuff. Since they're 4 years old, I kind of had no choice to keep them in that system. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the only Wakushi that existed back then. And then Gen 3. And then Gen 4. I have seen Gen 3 as well. I like Gen 3, but it's not modular. it's better for colonies that like don't grow that quickly. Modular is good for colonies which are really fast growing, I think. So if you had like some sort of like Solenopsis geminata, which are insanely fast growing, then I think modular like Gen 4 would be really good, because if you have to like disconnect tubes and all that, then it would be really, you'd get so many escapees moving them. But it also can be quite hard to expand with Gen 4 stuff, because it can actually be quite hard to click into place. Like when I was expanding these guys, I had, okay, hold on. So basically, it was just the small nest here connected to the outworld. So I took off the small nest and I placed the medium in the middle, but there was sand in the connector. So I tried to get it in, but it wouldn't get in. So I kept trying, and a bunch of escapees got out while I was doing that. Yeah. What I like about Lasius Niger is that their workers, once they grow quite a lot, their workers get a lot bigger. So their first nanitics were absolutely tiny, similar size to like Fedoli, but these they get really like chunky, especially if they're like physogastric. It's an extremely mild sting. Feels more like a bunch of blood swelling rather to your finger rather than a sting. Oh wow. I've been bitten by Lasius Niger before, not my own colony, but outside. I think I was saving one from a pool. It was stuck in a pool, and I pulled it out with my hands, and it just started biting and spraying formic acid on my finger. And it stung quite a bit for their size, but it didn't really hurt at all. I thought, I didn't even know they sprayed formic acid back then. Yeah. I've also been sprayed a lot by Formica. It's not Formica rufa, it's like a similar species to Formica rufa. I forgot what it was called. It might be Formica lugubris. You might not know them. They're really endangered, but I accidentally stepped on a nest because there was a massive forest of these hills. Like genuinely every couple meters you would walk, there would be another massive hill. And I stepped on one. I really didn't notice it at first, but they started crawling up my shoes like really quickly. And by the time I noticed, they had got into my trousers and they were biting me and they were really spraying me with formic acid. And I got like a little bit of a rash on my leg. So that was quite painful. It honestly hurt more afterwards, the rash, than the actual biting. It was quite easy to get them off though. They're very big, so it's very easy to just fling them off. These Lasius Niger go through water so quickly. I think I refill their water feeder like once a week, and it's like, I don't know how much. I think it might be a 5 ml feeder. And yeah, so they go through lots of water. I'm gonna bring over my Nikos and I'm gonna feed them. Oh my god, same. I was feeding a colony in my garden and the same thing happened. Wow. I've never actually fed. I did feed my wild ants one time. I fed a wild colony of Lasius Niger fruit flies, which I had dried out, and I couldn't feed all of them to my ants, so I just gave them to them, and yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't really feed wild ants though, because you gotta stable out the ecosystem. Like if they're supposed to be natural scavengers and stuff, and if they just take the stuff that you give, then they won't do their job basically in the ecosystem. But it won't make much harm. I'm gonna bring over my Nikos. I'm gonna leave the door off. Here we have them. Just in a lunar pod, not too crazy. I think they have 13 workers now. and their queen is really fat, and she is laying lots of eggs. And I think she laid a batch like a couple of weeks ago, and they've already hatched into mature larvae, so that's pretty cool. They grow really fast because I've been heating them quite well. I've only fed mine a few times. Right, that's cool. My throat's hurting. I'm gonna give these a mealworm and a bit of sugar water. I gave these guys a gypsum tube, like not that long ago, but silly me, I overwatered it, and I didn't really like flood it. I just made it too humid, so I'm gonna wait until it dries out, and then I'll give it to them again. I think I want to give these guys a DIY setup because I want to experiment with my DIY setups a bit. I'm going to give these guys a decent amount because they have quite a few larvae. So I'm going to give them a cut up mealworm right in there. Oh, still stuck to my tweezers. And I'm going to give them a bit of my sugar water. I'm going to give them a new bowl of sugar because their old one is bad now. I'll put it in this part as well. Oh, sticky tweezers. If these guys like sense me doing something, or if I take the lid off while they're in one of the parts of the lunar pod, they go really crazy. They're really aggressive even as a small colony. Your Nicos look good. I recently got mine 2 weeks ago, and they have 4 queens, 20 workers, and over 30 cocoons. I'm genuinely impressed with how much brood they produce. Yeah, their queens are egg-laying machines. 4 queens is dangerous as well. They're gonna have a big size if they do well. Should be enough. They're already storing lots of sugar in their gasters, so they shouldn't be too desperate for it. But they always go a little bit crazy for it. I love Nicos. I think they're just so cool because I like other carpenter ants. Like I've got Campano's fetching koi, but they're just slow growing and they're a bit annoying. So, especially my queen, she ate all her workers and she is just annoying. It might just be the shop I got them from though, because every single ant which I've got from that shop is has not done well. So they must just not be the best. They have really good sense of smell, so they can usually smell food not long after I put it in. But I'm going to put these guys back, and I'm going to bring over my Messor Barbarus. I think I might have to upgrade this setup soon because it's getting quite difficult to feed them in their outworld, especially if they're going crazy like this. But yeah, one of my favorite species for sure. Yeah, I think Nicos have the perfect blend of size, polymorphism, growth rate, and just the way they look is pretty cool too. So yeah. I've got to go now, but nice stream. All right, see ya. Thanks. Thanks for subscribing and everything. Have a good evening, and maybe you'll be able to join next stream too. I'll check out your channel as well. Okay. Messy, barbarous, stressy, barbarous. What aren't they? Got their first major, by the way. If you can see it in there, probably not. But yeah, it's somewhere in there. Super cool. I like these guys' food reaction. They go quite crazy, even though they're not that powerful. Hi, Matilius. Got the Meso Barbarous on the screen right now. I might give them a few more seeds. I haven't fed these guys seeds in ages. I mean, they've just been living off their last store. So yeah. Oh, this is going to be difficult, actually. How am I going to do this? Okay, let's see. Let's have to drop it right in there. Yeah, there's a few seeds in there. They like it. I think they like chia seeds the most. They don't really like the other seeds in the mix that they have. Making sure that all the seeds are in there. They actually are picking up some of them straight away. That's nice. They have a major now, so they should be able to crack open some of the harder seeds. So that's cool. I'll give them a bit of sugar water as well, because they like that. Not too much, just a little bit for energy. I'm going to probably order some more stuff from Wakushi soon. I'm going to order a medium nest for my Fidoli once they need it. And I'm also going to order another outworld for the Meso Barbarous. Because it's just kind of annoying feeding them in here. But I'm probably not even going to give them the new outworld until I have the space for it. Because I'm planning on building a vivarium. And that's when I'll do most of my upgrades for my colonies. Because I'm running out of space on my one shelf. So I'm trying to expand a bit. I could put them on 2 shelves, but my heat cable isn't long enough. Mo Bobka, how many species do you have? I have 10 different species at the moment. I have Meso Barbarous, Lasius Niger, Camponotus nicobarensis, Harpignathus venator, Phytoli noda, Camponotus fetchinkoi, Formica fusca. I think I have a couple more, but yeah. I did an ant room tour a while back if you want to watch that. Actually, it wasn't that long ago. It was like last weekend. On the Meso Barbarous right now. Just gave them some more seeds, some more sugar water. I'm making sure all of my colonies are very stocked up on everything because I'm going away for like a week. What species do you keep? If you keep ants. What's your biggest colony right now? I think it's probably my Lasius Niger. I'd say they're in the back, right there in their Wakushi setup. I'll come over to them again soon. I'll also come over to my. I'll go over a couple of my colonies again because I want to see how they're doing. I'm gonna bring back the Messors now. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the Lasius Niger because they seem to be having a little frenzy right now. Here's the whole outworld, by the way. It's just a Wakushi outworld which I decorated. You've got Field Nikos, Field Woodcutter, Harvester, and Lasius. Oh, cool. You want to see inside the nest, then here's the nest. It's a medium Wakushi gypsum module and a small gypsum module. That was their original nest. I expanded this not too long ago. They still have plenty of space to grow into, but it's not too small for them. I think so anyway. Yeah. I think my stream crashed there for a second. I'm not sure. Sorry about that. Was it hard to expand? I could see them escaping everywhere. Yeah, it was. I mean, honestly, it could have been easier. There was a bit of a problem because when I was expanding it, there was a bit of sand stuck in the connector, so I had to take it off again and try and get the sand out. And there was a few ants escaping, but I was lucky because they seemed to be quite. They seemed to be resting inside the small nest while I was doing it. So I definitely got all of the escapees. There was like 10 maybe at most. So yeah, it was definitely not bad. I currently have the small nest set up as well, planning on expanding it soon. Yeah, it's really not hard. You just gotta. I did a short on it if you want to see. But I literally just took the small nest off, plugged both ends with cotton, took the cotton out of here, plugged in the nest. Well, it didn't work the first time. I had to clear out the sand, but then plugged it in, took out the cotton from that side, and plugged that in as well. And it was really smooth. It depends what species you're doing, though. What species are you expanding? Because if it's something that's like really fast, then it could be a bit more difficult. These guys are quite slow. Camponotus nicobrensis. I think if you do it quite quickly, and as long as you don't disturb them too much before you do it, it shouldn't be too bad. Because, well, if they get really disturbed, then they can be really, really fast Nicos. So, yeah, it should be fine though. they're quite big, so they're not too difficult to like pick up and move. My Nico colony is only like 10 workers now, and I'm planning on keeping them in a DIY setup, but I'm seeing how I'll be able to do that in the future. I'm making some nests at the moment. Whenever I like expand a nest, I genuinely just stand there for like 5 minutes just contemplating, like kind of scared, like being a bit of a wimp, before I finally make myself do it. And it's never bad. Nothing ever bad happens. So yeah. I actually got the medium nest for my Fidoli Noda because they were growing really fast, but these guys were growing even faster, so I decided to expand these guys first. My Fidoli have a bunch of space in their test tubes anyway, so yeah, I'm planning on ordering another nest though, just in case. Oh, okay, I'm gonna put these guys at the back and I'm gonna... What colonies do I have left? Hold on, I'm gonna have a quick look. I'm just gonna come over to back to my Nikos just to show you mine. And put these guys in the back because these guys are eating right now. There we go. They have this lunar pod, and yeah. Have you had these guys for long? The Lasius. I got the queen. I caught the queen last year, so no, not that long. They've been a really fast growing colony for me, at least after diapods. That was. They didn't really grow much. They pretty much just got their analytics in the first year, and nothing happened after that. But then in their second year, the queen started laying. I mean, after diapods, the queen started laying insanely, and she just massive batches of eggs everywhere. And before I knew it, they just kept growing. I put them in this small setup, and yeah, that's how I got to where I am now. Because I think they only been in for like maybe 2 months, and that's it. They only have 13 workers at the moment, so it's not really too much. But they seem to be growing very quickly at the moment. The queen is laying a lot, and their larvae are growing really fast as well. The queen is so fat. Okay, I'm gonna put these guys back. I'm gonna make some space because I've got quite a big setup coming up here. It's gonna be difficult to film, but yeah. Whoop. Oh, this is big. My semi-naturalistic Formica fusca. They have a bioactive digging ant farm, which I got. It's my first ant farm I ever got. It's not that good. It's my first colony died in it, but yeah. Hold on, let me just. Oh, yeah. They're not really living in the chambers right now. They don't even have any brood, but yeah. I'm gonna feed them. I can't really show feeding them because it's too tall, but I'll show once the food's in. Okay, done that. Okay, so up here, I just placed in a mealworm there. Oh, focusing. Well, I placed the mealworm there, and I got some sugar water in there as well. I don't know why it's looking really weird right now, but yeah. They always hide from me whenever I disturb them. I have no idea where they go, but yeah. Because I mean, there are a few up at the top, but they just disappear. It's annoying that they don't have any brood at the moment. Their queens seem to only lay at the start of each year. And yeah, they just seem to grow, like have a really good burst of growth once at the start of the year, and then they just sort of stay at the same level for the rest of the year. So I'm really not expecting any growth until next year. I'm just going to come back to my what do you call them? The Fidoli Noda, just so I can show them again, because they seem to be quite active. Just get that. Oh, why is it looking like this? Ugh. Hold on a minute. I'm just gonna reset. Camera's looking really weird at the moment. Jesus. Hold on. The exposure's like really high. Hold on, I'm gonna have to quickly stop this for a second and redo it. It'll go all black. I'm back. How many workers this colony do you think? If you're talking about my Fidoli, I'd estimate maybe 150. There seems to be quite a lot. I'll show you the nest. It's just a Venus nest. They're mostly living in this tube. They've brewed in this tube, and yeah, and then they have this outworld because I couldn't feed them in the old one. You can see just how active they are in this one. Imagine how they were in the smaller outworld. Oh, that's so cool. Do you see how quickly they're moving now? There's only a couple workers on it. I would say they're the strongest ants for their size that I have. So they're smaller than my Lasius Niger. But yeah. There aren't any majors outside right now. I think they have around 20 majors right now. They're all in the nest though. A lot of them are quite young. Yeah. So I'm hoping to give these guys a medium nest soon. Their growth is it goes in like short bursts. They'll have little explosions once at a time. Yeah, they're pulling that mealworm like nothing. I know. They're insane. Hold on, look at that tube there. There's another mealworm. Wow, they're cool. I love these ants. hopefully these guys won't lose any brood while I'm gone. They're very good at storing food, so they should be alright. I'm gonna quickly take out some of their trash because it's looking a little bit dirty in there. Okay, let me grab. Thankfully, they seem to stick all their trash to cotton, so it's really easy to just pick it up, so it all sticks together. These guys are always testing the barrier. They seem to be very good at escaping, but they haven't escaped yet for me. How often do you water your nests, by the way? Because I recently had an issue where I watered their nest and they started panicking because I'm overhydrated too much. Yeah, I think if it's wakushi nests, it can be easy to overhydrate them. I think they stay hydrated for like maybe 2 weeks. I hydrate mine every 2 weeks, but it depends on the species. If it's a moisture loving species, then I'll do every 2 weeks. If it's a dry loving species, if it's like a really dry loving species, I probably wouldn't even hydrate it at all. But if it is, I barely hydrate my nests that much because I used to overhydrate them all the time. I think my old Harpugnathus venator, I used to hydrate it way too much and they got mites. The mites are gone now and I stopped overhydrating them though, so that's all. That's good. Just gonna finish cleaning this out. There's not too much trash. It's just looking a little bit manky. Oh, whoops, dropped that. It's just mealworm exoskeletons. They don't seem to process those. Unlike my Lasius Niger and my what do you call them? My Lesor Barbarus always process the exoskeletons. You really want to get Metallicas. What the green ones? Yeah, those are cool. They're really pretty. I'm just going to come back to my Lasius Niger for the last time because it's the last colony I'm showing. In the nests, they seem to have sprung in like a mealworm head. And they're in the process of bringing in the mealworm. All right. I'm gonna end the stream here. Hope you enjoyed. There haven't been too many people watching this time, but yeah. See ya. Have a good evening, and I will stream again. Not this Friday, the Friday after. All right.